Oh, I think we're about to be on. Stream status. Green. This stream is currently offline, but any second now. Live. Why does it still say this stream is offline? Let's reload that bad boy. Live. So much live. Super live. Okay. I hear you, M. I can hear you. I'm used to that. I hear you. I'm reading these in not the right order. No. What? I hear you. I hear you. Okay. That was dumb. I don't know why I read all those things out loud. Because clearly everyone can hear me. So, hello to the sim. Welcome to week 14 Friday. I think this is only the third arc that I have ever called. So, pretty significant that we're having another race called night because we wanted to have one because it's a good race. Like, really good. And took a few minutes extra to connect than it normally does. So without further ado, let's bring in tonight's MC who did not forget me. And you may want to turn up your speakers. We're having some audio difficulties. I know, shocker. This is going to be Nina.
This is a crazy race of 9 horses. I know there are, and the sad part is there's a lot of really good horses that are still not even here. How crazy is that? 9 horses, and first horse in post position number 1 is Reddington. He has earned $2.4 million, 9 wins from 13 starts for owner Laura Ferguson. He cost her $12.5 million at the TBS yearling sale, meaning that Reddington was bred by the steward. He is sired by Super Horse Sydney and out of the frayed mare Shahira. Last out, he did lose to King of Monsters by a nose in the Grade 1 King George Stakes. But before that, he won the Grade 1 Galileo going this distance of 12 furlongs by 5. Before that, he was second to the Super Horse Suzuka Silence in the Grade 1 Desert Turf Classic. Speaking of Suzuka Silence, he is in post position number 2. He is a homebred for Tammy Fox. He's a 4-year-old gray colt sired by Suzuka Mambo, it was a Game Point stallion, sadly no longer with us. He is out of the splintered mare Fractured Talk. Has 10 wins from 11 starts, $1.9 million in earnings. Has won his last 5 starts in a row with the last loss of his was actually week 14 a year ago in year 43. He has reeled off since then 4 Grade 1 wins, including last out in the Sydney Trophy with an 89 over Shadaroba, who is not here. And then he won the Caulfield Trophy and the Desert Turf Classic before that. Definitely one of the favorites in the field today. Horse number 3 is another steward bred, this one owned by Chris Fielder. Hear Me Preach. Hear Me Preach cost $389,000 at the TBS 2-year-olds. Sired by Holy Crusader and out of the July mare, Akandale. Has 3 wins from 19 starts, $229,000. Was second last out behind James Lee in the Grade 1 Hong Kong Champions route, but did win a non-winners of 3 the time before that with an 84 speed figure by 2 lengths over Oath of Darkness. Was 7th in the Desert Duty Free Grade 1 week 6. Horse number 4 is a 3-year-old homebred for Melissa May, and that is King George. King George is sired by Gibraltar and out of the feet mare Queen of Smiling. Has 3 wins from 6 starts, $504,000 in earnings. Won the Irish Derby week 11 last out with an 89 speed figure over Peace Be With You and Valentino. Before that was second in the Grade 1 London Derby behind Peace Be With You, where he ran a 92 speed figure. And before that, won the Grade 1 German Derby with an 85 speed figure, again over Peace Be With You. Peace Be With You. Horse number 5 is the 10-year-old elderly man in the field, Kingston. Kingston won the ARC last year with a big shocker as a 9-year-old. He is going to try to extend the oldest horse to ever win the Arc, being a 10-year-old, since he was the oldest horse winning as a 9-year-old. Kingston is a homebred for Bradley Davis. He is a gelding, so unfortunately we won't be breeding to him. His dam is a July mare named Subtle Look, and he is sired by Trafalgar. Has 18 wins from 43 starts, $3.1 million in earnings. After he won the Arc, he did have a little bit of slouch, but seems to be rounding back into form with a win in the Grade 3 Prix Atlantis last out, and was second behind Drogon in the Grade 3 Wicklow Cup week 9, and did win the Grade 3 Grand Prix de Notre Dame with a 90 speed figure over Chile week 6. Horse number 6 is a gelding 3-year-old named Andy Loves April, homebred for Tim Matthews. He is sired by Homeland Security and out of the Vladimir mare April. Has 7 wins from 8 starts, $852,000 in earnings. Has won his last 5 starts, and his only off-the-board finish, or his only non-win, was actually way back in year 43, week 16, where he ran 4th in the Grade 1 Magellan. And since then, he has gone on to win the Canadian Breeder Stakes, last out week 12, with a 92. He also won the Grade 1 Cape Town Derby and the South African Crown, both Grade 1 races, with an 89 and an 86. Post position number 7 is another steward bred. This one is a 7-year-old gelding named As You Please, owned by Steven Saratoga. Costs $460,000 at the TBS 2-year-old sale. Has 4 wins from 30 starts, $169,000 in earnings. Was 3rd in the Grade 1 Worldwide Stakes, last out behind Savage and Double C. Was 5th in the Grade 1 Prince of England Stakes with a 59. Before that, again, behind Savage and Forgot. And then before that was 6th in the Grade 1 South African Cup behind Savage and Bow Ties Are Cool. Speaking of Savage, he is in post position number 8, also owned by Steven Saratoga. This 6-year-old stallion cost $2.5 million at the TBS 2-year-old sale. Also bred by the steward, sired by Teeth Bearing and out of the end of the line mare Trickster. Has 16 wins from 25 starts, $4.5 million in earnings. Has won. The last time he lost a race was all the way back in year 43, week 3, and that was a 2nd place finish in the Grade 1 Eontoke Challenge. Since then, has won 8 Grade 1 races, including the last 3, which was the Worldwide Stakes with an 87, the Prince of England Stakes with an 88, and the South African Cup with an 85. Definitely, probably, I would say, the horse to beat in this race. Post position number 9 is a homebred for Erin Sanderson, and that is Imperative. This 5-year-old chestnut stallion is sired by her Superstar Gibraltar and out of the feet mare Vivid Visions. Has 13 wins from 20 starts, $3.7 million in earnings. Was 3rd in the Grade 1 King George Stakes behind King of Monsters and Reddington, last out, week 11, but did win the Grade 3 German International Cup with a 90 over After Earth and Dane, week 9, and then was 4th in the Grade 1 Desert Turf Classic behind Suzuka Silence, Reddington, and King of Monsters, week 6. Imperative has, I believe this is his 3rd arc, so maybe 3rd time will be the charm. And that is this full field for this year's $6 million Arc de Triomphe. And if M is ready, we can call the race. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to talk really quiet until everybody gets their stuff all switched over so I don't blast them, although I already blasted them with Nina when I figured that out. So, let me know when you can hear my whatever talkingness. Okay? Okay. What do you mean louder? I would mute myself before coughing in your ears, but Apparently my mute button's not working, as you could hear my sister calling me repeatedly, even though I kept sending her to go away, whatever the go away button is. Yeah. So it is the Arc tonight. A few interesting things about the Arc. Oh my gosh, we're almost at 200,000 in the betting pool. That's amazing. I have a story about Kingston, the horse who won last year. As you know, we were going to launch the fact that horses can run at 10 for the new, I assume, 6.5, or yeah, 6.5 is what we're on. And we were going to launch that this year. So last year's 9-year-olds were not going to be able to run this year. It would start this year. But then, like, that was one of the first things we did. So that had been done for ages. So then when Kingston won the Arc, I was like, this is perfect. I'll just open it early so that, this will be like a great segue and everyone will get excited about it. And that'll be way better than at the beginning of the year. Well, it turned out to not be better because it was week 14. So some people were really angry that they'd already retired some 9-year-olds during the middle of week 14 when they could have run next year. And I unretired anyone who asked that had done that. So I thought that that was better. 2, a lot of people thought that the Arc was rigged because we wanted to showcase this new feature, and so I made Kingston win. And that really depressed me because what really happened is that I gave you a new feature that you weren't going to get. I gave it early because of Kingston, so that's my depressing story about that. Anyway, yeah. Because, I don't know, people. Anyway, Kingston is back. No horses have won the Arc twice. I thought for sure that Ara Davies had maybe done it, and I'm going to tell her that no horse has won it twice, and I thought she had. Is Kingston going to be the first? If he's not, then she's going to swoop in and try and do it, I'm sure, because she'd love a challenge like that. The last 3-year-old to win this race was Stalingrad. We have a couple 3-year-olds in tonight. The last filly to win this race was back in year 10. There aren't any fillies in it tonight, though. I'm just giving you stats that I might ask as questions later when I do a headshot contest. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. One minute to post. This is such a huge clash. Suzuka Silence has only lost once. But he's also only run 11 times. Andy Loves April's only lost once, and he's a whole year younger. He's run 8 times. Savage is on a crazy winning streak, and I know for a fact that Steven Saratoga wants this race more than any other race in the game. Laura Ferguson wouldn't mind if Reddington would start paying off some of his expensive price tag. For a horse that's 9 for 13, he's actually been very disappointing. And then there's Imperative. Will this be his swan song? He may be done after tonight, so that'd be really sad. Imperative, come back. Cat, you're going to have to go. Okay, it is post time for the Arc de Triomphe in year 44. The races began in year 7 for the Arc, so 44 minus 7 is a number, but that's the number of the Arc that we're on. Betting pool closes at $214,500. And it looks like Savage is the favorite, I think. Numbers are hard. Where did I put the Arc call? There it is. It was hiding. And it's too small because I'm blind. Okay. They're off in the Arc. Imperative a step slow. Reddington 2 along the rail, but the race is long and they unfold with Andy Loves April hustled out to lead. King George there. Those 2 3-year-olds going out with speed. As You Please joins them. Kingston back 4th. Then A Gap to Save. Reddington, Suzuka Silence, Imperative, and Hear Me Preach is the trailer. So they parade down the stretch the first time, and Andy Loves April is leading by a length. King George and As You Please back 2nd and 3rd, bobbing heads with defending champion Kingston another length back. It is a break of 3 to Savage, and then Reddington and Suzuka Silence. Those 2 titans with Imperative taking up behind them, and Hear Me Preach is fanned out wide as they go into the first turn. It is Andy Loves April, the target, leading by 2. As You Please a next second with King George 3rd. Then comes Kingston. 6 back to Reddington and Savage. Suzuka Silence, Hear Me Preach, and Imperative is the current trailer. Lots of running left for Imperative. There's no change in order up the backstretch. Andy Loves April, As You Please, King George, Kingston, then Reddington, Savage, Suzuka Silence, Hear Me Preach, and Imperative now moves back into second last. They're coming to the turn, and Andy Loves April backs up into the face of As You Please. King George becomes the new leader. King George will now be joined by Kingston, Reddington gaining ground. Savage, Suzuka Silence gets asked the question, and then Imperative, who is being set down and is not coming on today. They're coming to the top of the stretch, and the two royalties, King George and Kingston, they kick on. Reddington and Savage third and fourth. Here's Suzuka Silence between them trying to fight on. Then Imperative, who's well back. It is a duel up front. King George and Kingston. Reddington rolling at them like a powerful train. Savage and Suzuka Silence. But King George and Kingston, 3 and 10 years old, they're heads apart. Kingston on the outside. King George on the rail. King George is doing best. And King George is crowned in the arc. King George and Necta Kingston denying him an arc double. Reddington a length back third. Savage and Suzuka Silence, then Imperative. The official winner is King George. He's a 3-year-old black colt by Gibraltar out of Queen of Smiling by Feet. He's a homebred for Melissa May, and this is his 4th win in 7 starts. Hey, that just blew my mind. I had no idea he had so few starts. That's insane. I guess a 3-year-old can win the arc. So what do we make of this race now? Because Reddington, Savage, and Suzuka Silence? 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Imperative, not today. He had a brutal trip, though. Bad start. Steadied behind horses. Outside post. That didn't really do anything, though. Well, congrats to Melissa May. Tim, your horse went really fast, and then he went... That's the sound of him running out of air. And smashing into Steven Saratoga's rabbit. Tim, you should definitely geld him again. A second gelding for Andy Loves April. Don't forget to join us in 13 days for Stewart's Cup Thursday. The Stars of Tomorrow program. Dude, rabbits work all the time in the sim. There's a really major race later where a rabbit worked, and it's like $1 million race tonight. All right. I will see you guys all Thursday the 28th. Thursday the 28th. Be here or be not here. Jokers. Good night, guys.